Hey, what's up guys, Merganman4 here, back with another video. And today I am kicking off my Nova Scotia vlog. So today is the first day of my trip out east with my school's chorus, which is really cool. We got up at 4 a.m. this morning. I had a delicious breakfast of a granola bar, pizza, and cream soda. And yeah, so we're waiting to board our airplane out to Halifax right now. So we're gonna fly out to Halifax, and then we're gonna drive through Nova Scotia and then back home, which is pretty cool. So we'll be hitting the whole eastern side of Canada. That's pretty darn cool. And so over here you can see the plane behind me, and really excited to get on another plane. This will be our 6th plane within the past 365 days, which is really exciting because I love flying on planes. Alright, so see you guys in Halifax. I am on the beach. I'm at the ocean. I haven't been to an ocean in a year and a quarter-ish. I thought it had been longer, but then I realized, yeah, I was there in Florida. But I've never been to an ocean in Canada. This is the first time I've been on the Canadian coast, which is pretty cool. So right now, obviously I'm in Nova Scotia. This is the Atlantic Ocean in front of me, and we are on Martinique Beach. So as you can see, this thing goes on for quite a while, and it's really very cool. Hoping to see maybe a couple of sand dollars or something that I can take home as a souvenir, maybe a couple of shells I could take, and obviously the ocean, it just stretches on and on and on. Gonna see if I can go up on those rocks, gonna see what else is going on here too. So yeah, actually this area here is a pretty neat area. I love how all these rocks just kind of, they're so smooth and stuff, and they look real nice on the smooth sand as well. And what's real nice is our group is the only ones here right now because, I mean, it's March. It is freezing cold, as you can probably tell from my coat and my scarf. So obviously none of us are going to go swimming, although I would like to. And yeah, this is just a really neat area. Got all this seaweed and everything. And the ocean obviously just stretches on and on and on. And it's just really neat. So there you have it, some of our adventures on the East Coast, boys. Yeah, my hands are practically numb because it's freezing cold out here. But yeah, this is real cool. Real cool. Really wish I could have gone swimming, but I mean, if it's this freaking cold outside of the water, oof, oh boy. Alrighty then. Well, see you off the beach. Here we go, boys. We're on the ferry. We're gonna go across the Halifax, man. This is sweet. Right now, we are in whatever it's called, Dartmouth. We're in Dartmouth, and so this here is the Halifax Harbor, where the famous Halifax explosion happened just about 100 years ago, which is pretty cool. Anyways, once we arrived in Halifax, it was pretty cool. It was on a hill, and so you could see the buildings were going up at a bit of a slant. But the first thing that we did was we stopped at a monument called The Wave. Now, funnily enough, in front of it there's a sign that says, "Please do not stand on or climb." But that's essentially the thing that people do the most on it. So, of course, a bunch of us, we climbed up, including myself, and we slid down it, and it was a lot of fun. So right now we're up at the Citadel in Halifax. This was a protective base. It's made in the shape of a star so that they could see in all directions to protect from invaders, and it's on top of a large hill to make it difficult for potential invaders. And unsurprisingly, it was never invaded. But it's pretty darn cool. You can see pretty much all of Halifax from up here, and it is really neat. What's really cool is you can go inside it and see how it was 100 years ago during the war. You've got all those stone walls, the stables and everything, and it just looks really neat. Of course, there are a couple touristy things like plaques and stuff describing some of the events and some of the features, but other than that, it pretty much looked how it would have when it was built, and it was really, really neat. When you get inside, there are a whole bunch of upper levels that you can see all of Halifax from, and that was to protect against potential invaders. And what was really cool is there were a whole bunch of cannons up there, and there was one absolutely massive cannon. You can see it here, and obviously it was inoperable. This massive cannon, though, had treads so that you could move it. Unfortunately, so that tourists can't move it, it was welded to the ground, which we realized after we attempted to move it. After we sang, we went to a restaurant called the Blue Nose, and this was really cool. It was something that I was waiting for a long, long time before the trip because I love seafood. I couldn't wait to get my hands on some actual, authentic, fresh seafood from the East Coast, and so I got lobster for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really neat experience. Alright, so here we are in Five Islands, Nova Scotia. What you see around me is the ocean floor. Now, you might be confused as to what is happening, but this is at low tide right now. In a few hours, the tide will come in, and the water will be all the way up there, which is pretty incredible. So you can see this is all wet and mucky and stuff, because obviously it's not going to dry out that quickly, especially on a cold day like this. And so you can see the mud, it goes all the way out there, and the water's going to come all the way back in here, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah, technically here I am standing on the ocean floor. Pretty cool. And then we were off from Shubenacadie to Charlottetown in PEI. Now, Prince Edward Island is, well, an island, hence the name. And the only way to get across via car, or as we took, a bus, was via the Confederation Bridge. Now this was really cool. It wasn't just any old bridge. This bridge was incredibly long. We were going at, I think, probably somewhere around 80 kilometers an hour, and it took us 10 minutes to get across the whole thing. And you kept seeing what you thought was land up ahead, but it was in fact actually ice on the ocean waters. So Charlottetown, we were able to stop there for a couple of hours. We had some free time, and so a few of the guys, we went to a restaurant called Brits Fish and Chips. Now for food, this was definitely the highlight of the trip. Even beats the lobster. Brits Fish and Chips was fantastic. Absolutely delicious. Excellent service. I loved it so much, and all the other guys loved it too. So 4 of us, we ordered a family platter, and it was so good. I loved it. I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite restaurant experiences that I've had. And if you're ever in Charlottetown, I seriously recommend you go to Brits Fish and Chips if you enjoy fish and chips, because it was absolutely delicious. Other than that, there really isn't anything to comment on Charlottetown, and from there we headed to Fredericton, which had even less to comment on. Other than singing, we didn't do anything there, so nothing really to say. Anyways, from there we went to Quebec City. Now this also was really cool because we got to visit old Quebec City, and the architecture there was wonderful. I loved the way it looked. It was beautiful. We got a few hours to roam in the streets of old Quebec City, and it was so cool. I loved wandering around it and seeing all those neat looking buildings and stuff. I also got some authentic Quebecois poutine, and it's absolutely wonderful, but even better if you get it from the original creators of poutine, Quebec. Our final stop was Montreal. We didn't really do too much in Montreal either outside of our singing, but there is something that we found that I think is worth noting. So we're staying at this Church of Christ, right? Okay, so 4 buildings down the street, down that way, what do you think there is? A Temple of Satan. Yeah, not even kidding. 4 doors away from a Church of Christ. And we're all like, what's that doing there? Completely surprised us. I'd never seen one of those before. I didn't even know they had specific buildings dedicated to Satan, and that really surprised me, especially being so close to a Church of Christ. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Thought it was interesting. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope you enjoyed learning about my experiences out in the East Coast. And if you ever go to the East Coast, I hope you enjoy your time there just as much as I did. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And Merkin Man 4, over and out. I'll see you guys later.